Welcome back to Absolutely Marvel and DC. My name is Benny, and that is Sal. And today, another Thor trailer has dropped. So today, we're going to be going through the trailer and discussing it and giving you our thoughts, opinions, and what we think is happening. And maybe we'll remember things, maybe we won't from the actual comic book run. We're very bad about that.
That's right.
We're going to skip over anything that was already brought up in our Why is this so wobbly? What am I hitting over here? Yeah, but anything that was brought up in the previous trailer discussion, which we only released a week ago, we're not going to bring up here. So, we'll skip over those scenes. But there is a lot going on in this trailer that I do want to discuss. Right, Sal?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So we start with a scene that I feel like is going to be the very beginning of the movie, because this is definitely new. Yep. Or it's made entirely for the trailer.
Right.
The Korg telling the story of what happened.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It could be a setup device, just to kind of get the movie going.
Yeah, it could be the opening of the movie. It could be an opening just for this. I mean, they're not afraid to use Korg for promotional materials.
No, not at all. He was with Deadpool, which made no sense.
Yeah. I imagine this is going to be in the movie. I think that it's their way of setting up what Korg's status quo is. Although looking more directly at these little characters that he's talking to, they're not made of rocks. I honestly, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, is this Korg's family or something like that? Is Korg retired from Korging and hanging out with
Korging?
Just doing
it's
Korg
Morbin time.
Stuff? Yeah, it's Morbin time. But yeah, but it's a good framework for this trailer because it tells you a story.
It makes this trailer kind of interesting because you don't know where it's going to go because now it's like an unreliable narrator situation where we're hearing what Korg is telling people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because when he says after saving planet Earth for the 500th time, and it's was it 500 or was it more like 2?
Yeah.
But
he's telling the story, showing him.
Yeah, it recontextualized some of the scenes we saw. We know kind of what sequence it's going to be in. Thor going from, as Korg calls it, dad bod to god bod is all probably.
I like that one, yeah.
An opening montage. My expectation is obviously the Guardian ship is incorporated into the workout. So Guardians aren't leaving until after Thor is ripped and shredded and ready to go. And so
I'm foreseeing right now, like you said, I feel like this is going to be the first 20 minutes, and that's going to be the extent of it because at 26 seconds. Mm-hmm. He feels like whatever he's done, because he says he's reclaiming the hammer.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that is the unworthy Thor arc right there, because the hammer got destroyed. Didn't the hammer get destroyed in Endgame?
Hammer was destroyed by Hela, yeah.
Okay, yeah, in Thor Ragnarok. So he didn't have the hammer. Mm-mm. So he looks happy to have the hammer, and it's got broken shards on it, so it's back, and as we discover seconds later, it created Mighty Thor Jane.
Yes, exactly.
Which, fun fact, everyone have been like, oh, what is Mighty Thor? Mighty Thor is literally her superhero name versus Thor. That's the only difference between the two names, okay?
Yeah, they're both named Thor.
Yeah.
They referred to him as Odinson to keep things straight because nobody wants to say Mighty Thor the whole time. But,
right.
Yeah. But it's also another way to resell old Mjolnir figures or toys, but now with cracks in them.
But I love that wherever he is in this battle, because that we don't know.
Which takes place on Earth because it's all there's English lettering, there's regular people. I see a parking sign.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even see that. But so it's taking place on Earth from what it looks like. The hammer arrives, goes to him, but then Jane calls it back.
Yes.
And I love his reaction there.
I know.
At 36 seconds, Jane?
Although what's weird is he reaches for it earlier with no mask. Now he's got a helmet on.
So I'm assuming that the hammer goes back, he sees this person, and then chases them across. Maybe he puts the mask on some point as a magical thing.
His entire outfit changes. If the 36 second shot of him wearing that helmet, completely new outfit from the previous one. The previous one is a little more scaled down, a little more like kind of Viking Thor. This one is his space god outfit. Also, a lot of people have been complaining about it. I know I complained about it in the last trailer. All the helmets are fake. They're all CG. His helmet is obviously CG. It doesn't look real at all.
No,
neither does hers at any point. Just pointing it out. Moving on. But yeah, no. So he's surprised to see her. I also love that this trailer.
What do you think happens? You think he sees her in the beginning with the hammer, and then she takes off, and then there's 20 minutes of her figuring out where she is, or I'm gonna chase her, or
I mean, honestly, there is no context for Jane becoming Thor at any point, and Jane doesn't look confused or green about this. The only reference to her fighting her first bad guy is in this trailer, but even then they're already in space and stuff. So I feel like we're not going to get a lot of context for Jane off the bat. We'll probably get probably to create a palate cleanser, because this trailer feels like 3 movies in one. There'll be a moment where we're just going to take a hard left and into Flashbackville and show you all of Jane's stuff. And I'll bet that's where the heavy stuff comes in.
Okay.
I'll bet the cancer plot's in there. Like, I'll bet all of that is explained later, and instead is like relegated to a 3-minute scene that is meant to make you feel bad and also to give you the context for Jane, but also not make you think too many deep, sad thoughts, because we're trying to have some fun here.
Yeah, the whole movie looks like it's going to be a very fun movie.
Yeah.
And you're right, because if you go to 37 seconds, we see him literally standing with the full Space God armor on, standing with her without her helmet on. Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see how they play all this out, because it's quite obvious that because he didn't feel worthy of being Thor, and the hammer was destroyed. Well, so this whole opening is him kind of getting back.
Remember, in Endgame, he gets it back, and he says, "I'm still worthy." Like, he knows, like he's validated by being able to use Mjolnir during Endgame. So he should by now know he's worthy.
Well, and I'm wondering if this is less that kind of a plot and more like he just feels lost. Because if you go back to the previous trailer, that's one thing he brings up about how he just doesn't know what he's doing anymore.
Totally.
So unless I'm not worthy and more my hammer's destroyed and I just don't know what to do next because I already defeated Thanos and it's over.
Yeah, I think just no Avengers, no big bad guy, wandering in the wind. I'm not going to be in Guardians 3 kind of situation. What am I going to do? Yeah, I think it's more aimless. It's like, what do I do with myself? I mean, obviously in the last trailer he says, I need to find out who I am, Yeah.
And it seems like that's what we're going to get to, with him being in the Viking outfit and then being in the Space God outfit, where he's a bitch. The fight, they're still in that English town between the two outfits.
Yes, when they start talking. Yeah, no, it's true, which is weird. Like, I don't understand.
Does he have a costume change? Does he walk 2 feet right? I'm in armor. Where's this other Thor?
There is a shot in this trailer where he does do that, like where he's hit with lightning. I think it goes from the Guardians outfit to the Viking Thor outfit or whatever. So there is an established moment in this trailer, at least, where all he has to do is hit himself with lightning and he can change his costume. So I think probably.
There's that option, or the other early theory we had where there's actually 3 Thors. Right. So Viking outfit is young Thor, who's just excited to get the hammer. This Thor in the Space God outfit is our Endgame Thor.
Right.
So maybe that's he's the one that's surprised that it's Jane, while young Thor's that's just a female Thor. Oh, what time period are you from? That kind of a thing.
Yeah, that could be a really they could be burying the lead about how many Thors there are in this movie.
Because that's the vibe I'm getting right here, but with the costume change. Because this could be young Thor, and they're still in the English town. So what if the 3 Thors are fighting against something, and Jane arrives, and the hammer goes off to,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you don't know in the comic book storyline that this is related to, he fights the God Butcher by using 3 different Thors. You had King Thor, modern day Thor, and young Thor. So that's seeing the way that this movie is laid out. I feel like that could be where we're going with this. But let's move on past it. So he sees her. The house burns down behind them.
Yep, they catch about how long it's been, 8 years, which damn, really?
Right, and they do standard MCU humor where he knows the exact day of his ex. And
Valkyrie obviously is calling out the fact that maybe there's something still there, and it's of course there is. You haven't had any other female interest in since Jane. Okay,
right,
we're playing that up.
I wonder if using the time travel theory, if they're going to ignore most of Mighty Thor's plot. Jane's from the future.
Oh.
She's in a future where he doesn't exist anymore or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Just an idea.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be not modern. It could not be present day Jane. That could be future Jane.
Yeah, and that's just he sees the future because he's talking about, because I'm just looking at if you go to the scene here at 52 where the Valkyrie thing, right?
Yeah.
The next scene shows the 2 of them at the Rainbow Bridge.
Yep.
And, that could very easily be oh, I know how this works. That kind of an attitude. I might be reading too much into facial features for the first time ever. I'm over-reading a trailer, but...
Yep, and then we finally get into the 60-second mark, and boom. They're setting up the new villain, the new big bad, a character that everyone's complaining about because they saw an action figure, and now they're finally getting a face reveal. Gore the God Butcher. Also... Okay.
Let's talk about Gore. I want to talk about Gore.
Yeah, let's talk about Gore.
How do you feel about his appearance? The changes.
I don't care. I love the look that Ribic established for Gore. I love the noseless, but tentacled, beshrouded Gore.
Right.
I think that he looks a lot like Ebony Maw in the Infinity War movie, so maybe they were like, nah, it's too close. Also, you're losing a bit of performance. I mean, like, Ralph Fiennes doesn't have a nose, and he looks like Voldemort when he's in Harry Potter. I think he still does a great job, but there could also be parallels drawn there. I think they might be trying to just distance themselves from noseless, like, albino villains.
Yeah, I could see that. Too close to every other villain that exists, and we're going to pay the money for Christian Bale. Let's also make him visible.
Yeah.
I'm not against that. My only issue I had, and I said it on my stories this morning, YouTube stories.
Yeah.
Maybe just because we just watched the Batman trilogy, but now I'm picturing a future where Batman retires and then lives forever to go kill gods as Gore the God Butcher.
You took my parents. Now I'm going to get you. Yeah. I love it. But here's my question about this. My question to you about Gore is we see his sword.
Right. Briefly, but yes.
It's just a sword. Is it is it the all black?
I think it's going to be.
I hope so.
Because you could very easily then link Black Knight and everything loosely through an extra credit scene. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Right, that's true. But
the MCU loves to have those very subtle, very minor interconnectivity things going on. And I feel like that might be what they're going for with this.
Right. But will the Necro Sword be connected to symbiotes?
That I think they won't do.
I think you're right.
Unless this is going to be the Venom reveal.
I mean, I'd be okay with that if they were like, yeah, no, this is like, yeah, it's all connected, baby. Null is coming.
I mean, that would be epic considering the fact that they love to have these interconnectivities and we haven't had a proper one. That sword could finally be the interconnectivity of the Marvel Universe we needed.
Right?
Like, whatever happened to Kang? Like, we got the reveal of the versions of Kang.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, no, Kang's still, he'll show up eventually.
Yeah, Ant-Man 3. We're getting Kang in Ant-Man 3. That's the plan.
Yeah. But what a weird movie to introduce the potentially big bad of the faves, you know?
I agree. No, it's true. Listen, Marvel, this could be a great opportunity for you. You know, you don't have to just get Spider-Man. You could also do some dope stuff with Null. So we move on. We see that shot that everybody's talking about, the beautiful Ribic background. We see some more of Gore. Like, I guess this is more like early Gore before he becomes like the God Butcher.
Well, that's why I think we're getting a lot of like time travel shenanigans because like they're obviously going through time in the different god houses, as proven by them now being in Greek, Roman, the Panthology over here.
Yes.
Which I find hilarious. The people that are like, DC gave us this Zeus, and Marvel gave us this Zeus. I'm like, Marvel's is closer. Do you not know the actual lore of these gods? Because Zeus is not some beefy hero. Zeus is a drunk who messes with everyone because he's bored.
Yeah, not only that, but like, we only got Zeus in that Snyder Cut version like for 2 seconds. Like, he doesn't do anything. Doesn't matter. I mean, like, and it's also interpretive. Like, we're not gonna. I don't want them to do Zack Snyder's Zeus in this movie.
Yeah,
he's just there to die. You know, they're just gonna kill him.
I know. If you go to 127, the All Blade or whatever the sword's going to be, you get a much better view. I do think it's going to be the All Blade.
I hope so. It looks like just a sword to me, man. I'm really worried that it's not gonna be the All Black. That it's just gonna be the Necro Sword. It's just gonna be some sword, and he's gonna like. Although it could be, maybe it is some sword, like it's my father's sword or whatever. And then like he uses it on a planet that's made of symbiotes and it like saps up into it. I hope so.
I mean, maybe. It'll be nice to see all that.
Yeah.
Then we get the black and white Sin City style thing they're gonna do.
Yeah, that's interesting. That was very different. I was not expecting that. Like Thor's in color, Gore's black and white, the world he's on is black and white. Kind of neat. I like that idea. Could be thematically working where it's like, no, it's either no gods or all gods. That's it. Like, I'm thinking in terms of black and white. I don't know, but it's pretty dope. Also, it looks like Valkyrie is wielding the lightning bolt. I don't know.
Where's that at?
Yeah, at 137. She's swiping at Gore with Zeus's lightning bolt.
Maybe once they kill the gods off, which I'm assuming they're going to do. Is that Gerard Butler as Zeus?
I think it's Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Okay. I mix up those guys too. People make comments. They're like, Benny mixes everyone up. I don't even think it's racist. He just mixes everyone up. I do. That's right. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, it's everybody. It's okay.
Everybody. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. I will mix you up.
Yeah, that's right.
I really thought that was Gerard Butler. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then we get more scenes of the Guardians, and then we get to see them hugging and holding hands, and him like taunting him.
Yep.
And then we get the other scene everyone's kind of freaking out about, the naked Thor scene. That they've diminished him to jokes. Did you miss the last two movies?
Yeah, also, he is huge.
Oh, yeah, he definitely... Yeah, right there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, now that you said Russell Crowe, I don't see Gerard Butler anymore.
He looks like He-Man. It's incredible. Also, and Dan wanted me to point this out, on the back, Thor has a full-on back tattoo of Loki's horns.
I love that. You flicked too hard!
Yeah, I was like, what? Also, hey, look, Korg is there, so I guess Korg goes along with them, too.
Oh, yeah, he does have that.
I also like that Zeus has a harem.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. I'm like, this is fun. I like seeing, like, Olympus.
I feel like this is that scene, because Hugh Jackman used to always talk about scenes where, like, he would get ripped, but he wouldn't be super ripped all the time.
Yeah.
But they would warn him there's going to be a shirtless scene, and he would, like, take steps to just look ripped.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is, like, Chris Hemsworth, like, okay,
This
so
is
I'm
it.
normally huge, but this is the one where I will have no water for 48 hours, because you're going to...
Yeah, no, he is going to be... Yeah, no. I mean, like, he looks like a triangle. It's insane how big he is. I don't mean to focus on it so much, but it's so distracting. Yeah, it's, and then that's it.
I'm excited.
Me too.
I am. This looks great.
Yeah, I'm hyped.
So, any final thoughts on it? I mean, so far, the only thing I'm going to say on my final thoughts, just before then I'll go to you. I love that we still don't actually know what's happening in this movie.
I got no idea.
Yeah. We know that there's going to be Mighty Thor. We know that Gore is going to be killing the gods. But everything else is up in the air as to what's going to be happening in this movie.
No, it's true. What I said earlier when I first saw this trailer, I was like, this looks like 3 different movies, but I want to see all 3 of these movies, so I'm good.
I wonder how long it's going to be. We heard that yet?
I don't know. I'm betting it's like 2 and change. Like, I bet if it's 2 hours, it's 2:05, and if it's not, it's going to be under 2 hours. But it won't be like 2.5 hours. This will not be a long movie. This is going to be like get in, get out, entertain, leave them wanting more.
Right. All right. Well, that is our analysis of the trailer. We had some fun. Let us know what we did miss down below, because I know someone's going to stay I know at one point there's a scene I saw this on Twitter where they have the statues of the Living Tribunal, what looks to be a Uatu, and there was somebody else in that too.
Oh, yeah,
Just statues as they're going through it, though.
Right.
That's going to be interesting that they keep establishing these godlike figures. I don't think it means anything other than there's a statue.
Yeah,
I think it's the equivalent of the Stan Lee situation where it's like, what does Stan Lee mean? Stan Lee means that they put him in for a cameo. That's what he means.
That's exactly it. That's it.
So I don't, but anything else, let me know in the comments down below, and we'll see you next time right here at Absolutely Marvel and DC.